You gotta come over here.
Oh, the lighting is so good.
Alright, well you gotta come over here.
Okay, go.
Alright guys, so you know what the day is. Turbo came. I told you guys yesterday that it was gonna be here. It came. We're waiting for the oil restrictor, but it should be here also today. So huge shout out to the boys over at ResuMotorSports for hooking me up with 1-day shipping so we could get this video out to you. So got the turbo in the mail today, GT2871R. You can see the size difference. It's not huge, but it's gonna be a bigger turbo. First thing we're gonna have to do is clock the turbo because as of right now it's set up as a top mount basically. So we need to clock the air housing this way. So it's not gonna be exactly pointing, or actually yeah, it will because we're not gonna have that piece. So we're gonna clock this exactly like this. And then we also gotta move, I don't know what it's called, but where your water lines and everything connects to in here. So the oil drain is facing straight down because you don't want that be on an angle or anything. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. That takes quite a bit of time. So hopefully we can get everything finished today, but we'll see. So let's get this clocked and then we'll go from there.
Tell them how terrible this is going.
Yeah. All right, guys, so turbo came, I had to clock it. Basically, I got it clocked correctly, but now I'm having problems getting to these bolts, and I had to weld a socket to a wrench to get to this one bolt, and it worked. I mean, I made a tool that actually worked. I got this loose down here. So you would take that, right, and now you can clock it really easily. But basically, to get to some of these bolts, it was a pain in the ass. So I got that figured out with this handy dandy tool I made. But now my problem is, where'd it go? The oil drain. Oh, right here. Oil drain came off the T25. I would think that since everything else will fit it, like the fittings and all that, the oil feet and all that, and the restrictor, I thought this would fit. No, it doesn't. The holes are just a little bit too big on the outside, so I'm probably just gonna end up drilling them closer and trying to make something work. If not, I guess I'm not driving the car till next week. So let me get this turbo put back together and clocked correctly, and then we're gonna try and mess with this and see if we can make it work. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, so I finally got the turbo clocked how I want it. We had to adjust this a lot. I'm gonna have to make some like custom piping to get to the intercooler. But so now I gotta modify this. And as I showed you earlier, the holes are just farther apart. So I'm gonna try to drill them a little bit, like closer, and just hope it works. All right, guys, so I finally got the drain drilled out. It literally took like an hour of filing and using the drill because I don't have a Dremel. So had to just extend the holes, and now it lines up. Everything fits. The flange fits fine. It was just the holes were different. I don't know why. So I forgot to order a gasket. So I got this carburetor gasket for temporary until I get an actual new drain. But I'm basically just gonna draw this out on here and then cut it out with scissors so I have a gasket so I don't have to use RTV because RTV wouldn't hold up to the heat of this. So that'll be the next thing we're doing, cutting this out, making it, and then we can start putting the turbo in. All right, guys, so I just got the fittings all in the turbo. Now I gotta take my manifold and I gotta put the studs inside of the manifold, and I'm actually gonna tack weld the back side of the studs in the manifold so they have no way of coming loose. I've had way too many problems of studs coming loose in the turbo and bolts coming loose, so I'm literally gonna probably tack weld the studs in there, and then I'm also gonna tack weld the nuts on the other side just a little bit, so if I ever need to take it off, I can just it with the angle grinder and it'll come right off. So we're literally just gonna take these studs right here and bolts. I have locking bolts, so I probably actually won't tack the bolts, but I'm definitely gonna tack the studs. So you take the stud right here, screw it in as much as you can, and then I'm just gonna do all four, and then I'm gonna get my welder and I'm gonna tack the back side. So let's do that real quick and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so as you just saw, I just tack welded the studs in there. I just had to do it. I know you shouldn't do that if you ever want to replace them, whatever, but honestly, it came loose on me so many times on the other manifold, and I just don't want that to happen again, so I'm okay with this. And now I have locking bolts, so I'm not going to tack the bolts to the stud. But so now we just got to put the gasket on here, and then put the turbo on there, and then bolt it on, and then that'll be it for that. And then we can start running our oil feed lines and hooking up the water lines. So we're going to do that, and then we'll be getting close to being done for today. So hopefully we can get the turbo, the manifold, and all the lines hooked up. I don't think we're going to start it today, but at least we can get it all together. All right, guys, so we're putting the gasket on there. Just got to pop this right on. So do that. Slide it down, and then we're going to take our turbo that we just did RTV for the oil drain gasket, because the paper gasket, it just didn't work for me. So I'm going to have to order a real gasket. So now we just slide that down. And now, then take our bolts. There we go. All right, so we got one on there. Got to get the other one on there. We're going to get all those on there, and then I'm going to throw the actual oil feed line on, water lines on, and then we can finally, oh no, and we got to put the turbo extension pipe on. So we're going to do all that, and then we're throwing it in the car. So let's get this done, guys. All right, guys, so the last piece literally just came in the mail 1 minute ago that I need it. Oil restrictor, the old one. As you can see the difference. This probably would have blew my new turbo's bearings. This is a .30, or yeah, and this is what Injuku Racing recommended me to buy for this. So, because I emailed them and everything, I didn't want to screw this up. So we're gonna screw this right in there. Oh, pain in the ass. Ooh. Oh, hang on, we gotta make sure something. Make sure the new threads for the oil line are the same. Yep. All right, guys, so we're gonna screw this in there, and then we're gonna hook up the turbo extension pipe, and it's finally gonna be ready to get in. All right, guys, so it's finally put together. All the water lines are on there, oil lines. I'm not actually gonna hook it up today because we need light, and I don't wanna make a bad quality video. Let me plug this light in for you guys. Everything's pretty much in. This has been a complete disaster. It really has, but it's finally pretty much ready to go in. If I can make it fit, these things are a pain in the ass, especially this oil line. Most problem. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to fight to get this in there, and then we'll show you, all right? All right, guys, so got it in there. It's not bolted up. There's no gasket on the manifold or anything. We're gonna end today's video here. It's just been a long haul. It's been a disaster, but finally got it all ready to go. So tomorrow we're gonna get up bright and early and get started on this and finish this project. But a couple things that I had to buy today was a custom stuff to make an intake, because as you guys all know, the stock SR20 turbo has like a little outlet thing on the front. But so I had to get a 3-inch reducer to a 2.5-inch reducer for this, so it'll just bring it out to the stock intake. Wastegate line's all the same, so that'll be easy. Turbo extension's on there. I still got to screw the O2 sensor in, and then we just got to put the copper gasket on there and hook up the oil lines, hook up the water lines, which everything works, and we'll be done. So we'll see you tomorrow, guys, bright and early. We'll have the video out hopefully by 6 o'clock, and we'll be ready to do this. So let's get this car running some boost this weekend. Peace.